welcome back again. For us, it's been 2 weeks waiting for parts. For you guys, probably not as long. So what we're waiting for are these motor mounts right here. These are a Ron Morrison motor mount, and everything is adjustable. So this should give us a little bit of extra room to move the engine around, as well as make some clearance, because again, just to remind you guys how tight everything is. Everything is super tight, and now the passenger side looks pretty good. However, on the driver's side, we're kind of contacting and having issues, so we need to make a little bit of room, as well as having a nice different motor mount. They were, just for the time being, resting on the stock ones. Those are going to come out, and you're going to see the process of that. So let's do that. So essentially what I'm doing is just the reverse process of putting these in. We didn't put anything in super tight. We're trying to line things up. And undoing this process. Alright, so now we have to undo the 3 bolts here. Same thing over here. And then those motor mounts will come up. The engine is being held up by the hoist, which you could kind of see up there. I'm kind of laying on it down here, which is a little uncomfortable. But yeah, you guys saw us do this, so it's just a reverse process, and you'll see us when we're starting to put in the new stuff. So now it's time to install these wonderful motor mounts. So I'm going to start first with this section that bolts to the motor, and then we're going to do the sandwich plate, and then we'll do these guys. Something like that. So, enjoy. So doing some pre-assembly. Because this will be a lot easier to do off of the motor than on the motor. Also, the blinding reflection of the sun doesn't help. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten these up, but I'm going to keep them loose enough where we could still move this however we need. And I'm going to do the same thing with both. I've already done that. And yeah, we'll go from there. So it's a 9/16 both sides. I made it too tight there, so I'm going to loosen it up. Turn. Now we still have that movement. Do the same thing on this side. Perfect. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Because these motor mounts are much thicker, we are going to be using, instead of the ARP bolts that we bought, the supplied hardware for this setup, if nothing falls on my face. So again, yeah, these allow for sliding motions and movements. So right now, we can get this up here. That's one. We'll get the other one. Should be 2. So these are torqued down to 50 foot-pounds of torque. And we've got regular washers and locking washers on this setup. We're going to do the same thing on both sides. And then again, yes, we will be able to move this forward or backward as we see fit. So this is the driver's side, and you might notice something different about the orientation. So when I went to originally put this one up, there was no clearance on the header. So I had to flip the bracket over, so that way now there's clearance on the header. So we're doing the same thing on the other one, was we're gonna swap them so they both match, so the motion is still gonna be forward to back. This is actually the opposite of what the pictures were showing us for the installation guide, but it should still theoretically work because we're going for clearance and forward to backward motion. This will allow us more forward motion. There it is. And there's that one. Alright, so next up, well, that fell and I have no idea where it went. It's behind the camera. Next up is our sandwich plate. So unlike the factory unit that only has the bracket on one side of this mount, this is going to be on both sides. So I call this the sandwich plate. Okay, we're going to keep those two over there. So the factory, let's see if I get my arm over here again, only had one bracket on this side, right? Well, this one does it on two sides. So I'm going to be putting this one in first with the washer on one end. So I'm going to find this top hole. Nope, it's the back one. There's that one. Let me get another bolt for the bottom guy. Whew. Now this comes on like that, and we got one washer and a bolt and one washer and a bolt. Now you may be wondering, okay, but the factory one had 3 bolts. Well, this one technically does too. It's just the third one goes through the bushing or the motor mount. And this whole system or setup, see, I see now that it needs to be lowered in order for, actually, hey Dad, where'd you go?
Yes, sir.
Can you turn our thing and make the back end come up?
Don't understand.
On top of the hoist,
Yeah.
turn the crank, and make the back end of, make the transmission come up.
Would I have to turn it this way? Tell me if it's working.
Well, I can't tell from here. You gotta tell from your
I think
side.
it is turning that way.
Yeah. We gotta do that a lot. Alright, you are gonna have to lower the engine a little bit. Which, hold on, let me move my head out of the way. In case things go bad, I don't want to be in the way. Hold on. Go up a, wait a second. I'm trying to figure out my angles. The back end needs to come up more. And the front.
Keep going.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not, it's still cocked. Is what's happening.
How's that?
It's getting better, but keep going. Oh gosh. Give it back.
More?
Hold on, freeze. Oh, okay.
Yeah, lift the whole damn engine.
So I can move this sucker, apparently, to help me. Let me try going in from the front. So, let go. You are not in charge. Alright, that looks good. Yes. That is what we wanted. And now, back end needs to come up a little. Actually, crank it up a little. That might, or I might be able to.
Wanna crank it up?
Wait, no, don't move it. Because I can move it pretty.
Got it.
There we go. Alright, now this stuff I'm going to put on, but I'm not going to tighten it yet because we still need to adjust and move the engine where we need to. That is one sort of on. I am going to tighten this setup. So now we've got our 9/16. And you may have to go by hand first. What's that? Cha-cha-cha. Front. Can you lift it up just a hair?
Yes, sir.
It'll help me a ton. Oops, sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay, coming up a little bit.
Yes. That was like almost perfect. Okay, can you do it one more time for me?
I'm gonna do it half a notch.
Or if the rear could come up more, that'd be great too.
More?
No. What it is the back end needs to come up more, but I got it. Oh.
I could bring it up.
No, I got it in. Let's take a look around. So you can see this one's back right now. This side is not. But from up there, you'll be able to tell clearance a little bit better than I can.
Yep.
So you tell me which way it needs to rotate.
It needs just to go a little bit.
And check both sides too. Yep. So that is what we are doing. We're gonna play around with this for a little bit. You guys will join us in a split second as we figure this out. So we have to make some clearance right now. So these are gonna get cut. I heard it fall. There it is. It's right by my arm. I'm not picking it up. Nice.
Yeah.
That looks good. There's clearance. You got one more to do.
Harder one.
The other one is back there. Pretty much same process. Cut it off. Get clearance.
Is that close enough?
Ah, that shit is hot.
Yeah. Don't get it off the thing because it'll burn. Put it on the cement.
It's on my arm.
Oh yeah. Here, let me have it.
I don't know where it's at. It's somewhere.
Get up.
I'm not. No, it's somewhere over here.
Yeah,
you
this
get it?
shit'll burn you. It's right here. Right there. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, we'll paint it with the brush, huh?
Yep. Little paintbrush. Cover that up with some paint so no rust.
Did I hit that a little bit? No, that was white paint. Let the blade cool off a little bit.
Yep.
Man, those bolts are hard.
I saw. It took you a long time to go through that.
They're hard bolts, huh?
Yep. There we go. So we've been messing around with the wiggling and leveling, and we've got our clearance now with everything down here. Now the motor mounts aren't perfectly lined up, which is okay because these are adjustable and they're made for moving. So we've got all our clearance now, even in the back. It is perfectly clearanced. We even jacked it up. Sorry, you're upside down with me. To get the same level that the engine would be at. And how's it look at? What does it look like up there? Does it look like it's crooked or no?
Doesn't look like it's crooked to me.
So the engine, even though the mounts down here are offset, you can't tell the engine's crooked, according to his eye.
I need you to come up.
It is hard to get out of here.
Petey.
No, I'm not getting out.
So you got a cocked eye, Dad.
It's your car. Okay, so everything is set. So we're gonna start off first. The chassis mounts are 35 foot-pounds of torque. The front to rear adjusters are 40 foot-pounds of torque, and our urethane is 50 foot-pounds of torque. Engine mounts are in. So there's those beautiful things all torqued up, and we've got plenty of clearance on both sides. These bolts were cut for the clearance. A little nick there, oops, but we've got clearance everywhere where it counts, and happy day. So drive shaft is in, motor mounts are in. Next up, transmission mount and emergency brake, and then we'll see if we still have some energy for today or not. But that'll probably be it for the episode, and we'll continue on, and you guys will see what we do.